break, and when we come back, we'll bring you more games to come.
Want to hook up?
Wait, what?
With Yudu. Being with Yudu is like customizing your car exactly the way you want it. Imagine doing that to your mobile plan. Anywhere, anytime. Like here. Boy. Oops. And even when you're in bed.
Wait, what?
Yes, just download the Yudu app and customize your mobile plan exactly the way you want it.
You have slain an enemy. Killing spree. Monster kill. Ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Mega kill. Legendary.
Download for free. Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Only light can drive out the darkness. First blood. Dance with us. You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. You have slain an enemy. Killing spree. My fate unstoppable. Mega kill. Legendary. Double kill. Godlike.
Download for free. Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Our strength and courage will be eulogized in the galaxy. Faith is my unbreakable sword.
Legendary. Legendary. Unstoppable.
Dawnbreaker.
Legendary. Double kill.
To save the world from suffering, the Guardian Dragons harnessed their powers once more. Sensing the dragon's resurgence, the powerful Kraken hastened his plan to destroy the world. Inspired by the fiery dragon warrior, many fine and noble warriors entered the dragon trials. Among them, a warrior from an ancient elven realm made his way to the dragon sanctuary, where the final trial of wisdom awaited.
Download for free. Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Grovel before your king, human.
Killing spree! Double kill! Triple kill! Launch a legendary! Maniacs! Unstoppable! Legendary! Stop it!
Let's get this over with. I'm starting to get bored.
Mega kill!
I am only a shadow.
Monster kill! An enemy has been slain!
Today is a whole new life.
An enemy has been slain!
Download for free. Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Want to hook up?
Wait, what?
With Udo. Being with Udo is like customizing your car exactly the way you want it. Imagine doing that to your mobile plan. Anywhere, anytime. Like here. Boy. Oops. And even when you're in bed.
Wait, what?
Yes, just download the Udo app and customize your mobile plan exactly the way you want it.
And welcome as we zoom out to show the beautiful skyline behind us here
at our beautiful, beautiful location. Welcome back to the MPL Invitational 4 Nation Cup. So far, the Indonesian standards seemingly unbroken. Team SMG taking quite a difficult loss here, but they've got one more game against an even bigger competitor. Can they learn from their mistakes fast enough to take them down? My name's Getting Q, followed here with my co-caster, Contra. You can follow us at our own socials as well at the Fatal 5-Way and at ContraCast, because we've got plenty of stuff to show you guys here today at the MPL Invitationals, and it's not over just yet.
Exactly, and of course, if you guys are looking for, great plans up ahead, of course, we got all the schedules pretty much all summed up. Now we're heading in towards Onyx Esports versus Team SMG, but before that, of course, huge shout out to our sponsors, because the MPL Invitational 4 Nations Cup is brought to you by Udo. It's sponsored by them, and of course, they are our official digital telco partners, and is presented by Moonton. So make sure if you guys are looking for a little bit of switch of plan, there's so much good deals on Udo that you can check out, like 20 ringgit for 20 gigabytes of data. Can you find that? It's all fully customizable as well, so make sure you guys check that out, because Udo is powered by Cellcom. It's the first fully customizable digital telco in Malaysia. So you can choose your data plans. You want more calls? Yeah, go ahead. You want great SMS deals? Everything can be adjusted to your plans.
All right, let's have a look at some of the team lineups here, because if you haven't been reminded and already forgot what Onyx has to bring to the table, or Team SMG, don't worry, we got you guys covered in our next segment here. But for the most part, we have to discuss about the performances of these teams so far, because Team SMG, as of right now, bringing in some of these newer bloods, it's going to take some time before they really start getting the synergy together. This is going to be Malik-chan, Neo-chan, Sudhum, Bonesy, it's Sonic
real quick in the first round, and now that they're facing a tougher challenge, if we must say. So in this instance, we're going to see Team Onyx Esports, of course, coming on board. We have Bloodstream, CW, Sasa, Rassi, as well as Entomage. So I'm not sure whether if they will actually switch up any of their players for this sort of matchup, but if they want to test something out, they can actually do so, because, hey, this group stage, I don't think that they have too much to lose. In fact, the only challenge for them right now that we're looking at is, of course, Aura Esports, which, back in the regular season, Onyx Esports did actually perform way better than Aura Fire, but things might just actually change by the end of the group if they, if they are not careful enough. So even early on when we heard Aura Fire talking about, how the performance of Team SMG was, they expected a lot more, and they were hoping to see a variety of these sort of picks to come in. So, are we about to see even more new compositions coming in for the same team?
Well, potentially. I'm not so sure about Onyx, because, every win is going to matter. If they can just 2-0 the entirety of the group, they guarantee themselves, like, oh, I don't have to worry. Or if Aura drops at least one of the games, even though they win the series, that's already going to give a significant advantage to Onyx if they just 2-0 the entire roster, if they 2-0 the entire group. So, totally understand. My problem with them is CW and Rassi look super alike. Did they purposely ask them to take off the glasses or not? But
maybe.
Let's jump over to the interviews between both of these teams.
Paling yang pengen gue buktiin tuh fokus pada tournament yang akan datang. Kalau kita tuh masih tim yang terbaik ya di Mobile Legends gitu. Jadi ya itu doang sih yang pengen gue buktiin.
Kita akan tengok balik replay strategi yang kita orang lawan di tournament ini.
Yang buat kita yakin ya, gue percaya sama tim gue karena kita setiap hari latihan.
Especially because we are very new. Our new fresh idea will be coming out in this tournament.
Terus di latihan itu kita juga pada menang-menang ya, gue yakin nanti
have capabilities to win the tournament.
Kita bisa menang sama grup ini.
Tim kita orang telah membuat training sehari dalam 6 jam untuk mendapatkan upayaan mereka dan kekuatan mereka untuk mencapai champion dalam tournament ini.
Selain latihan, ya pasti semua tim latihan lah ya sebelum turnamen. Yang satu lagi yang kita tanamin sih mental. Mental tuh harus punya mental juara.
really love the fact that Onyx Esports did point out that when all these sort of tournaments that you play, you need to have the mindset of a champion. And you know, Onyx Esports is one team that have lifted the trophy once back in MPL Indonesia a couple of seasons back. So they have that winning formula, and they are trying to actually bring it back up to challenge teams that are familiar faces to them, and also uncharted terrains like now they're facing against Team SMG. So as for Team SMG, like of course they don't really have that sort of same confidence that the opponents do have, because you know with such a brand new roster, it's actually very hard to actually form too high of an expectation. But when you put in those hard work, like 6 hours a day, of course we're expecting some results to come out of it. So it's time for us to actually hit game one, because the draft is ready, and we are going to break down picks and bans right now.
You actually bring up a really good point here, because like you can see in the interviews alone, the two completely different mentalities coming into this tournament here. Onyx looking to fight for their positions. Yes, we are still the best team. We are here to win, nothing less. Team SMG, on the other hand, is trying to, make sure that their composition of rookies are going to work together for future tournaments. They're looking for that long run here, and you can see it in their play. It's like, we can't do too much because we need to practice more. We need to be together as a team to really improve. But let's look at the draft as so far. It looks like Ling and Claude have been banned down. Team SMG don't want to deal with it, and Onyx just can't. I just can't, like, I just don't, like, want to deal with something that has a battle mirror image that teleports between them. That's really frustrating and can be a hyper carry. Nah, I get that out of my face.
Yeah, not only that, they want to be covering themselves with some black. It seems like they are feeling a little bit cold in the evening. So, of course, everyone's actually playing from the comfort of their own gaming houses, in fact. So, this is one great thing that not only they get to bond and communicate a lot more better, they're also practicing pretty much social distancing. Since technically, if you're already sharing the same house, it's pretty much safe, right? So that's great. Hope you guys are practicing that as well all across, Southeast Asia, beyond. So now we're going to kick things off with a value pickup, relatively better improvement coming from this sort of the draft for Team SMG. Flame Shot has not really been a thing for the past patch, but it's still pretty much workable in the hands of a Valer.
Yeah, and especially when you want to combo abilities very, very well. It's great to just use the flame shot early on so that you can land the rest of your combo super easily. But Onyx this time, notice that Kaja has been let through at Indonesia. They just love it. It's like, it's a free win for them. So they straight away lock it in with the Kufra, having a strong support lineup to back up the rest of the team. Team SMG, they think about what they are going to bring to the table here. Now they have access to Valir. Yes, you can stop a lot of the engages. However, the pick potential coming in from Onyx is extremely high. And and we have seen Onyx, if they get a pick, they are going to take as much as they can bite off the tasty meal.
Yeah, and we're already looking at the very first bullet coming into the picture here. So, all these bands have definitely got me wondering how strong is it going to be when you are facing it against such a lineup which you have pretty strong offenses. Kaja as well being let loose. So these are the two bands that has been lifted, but Farsa has been relatively popular. Of course, knowing that you can actually do significant damage from afar, and the mobility definitely will help in the bigger picture. So, heading in towards the second phase of bans, what should they actually go for this time?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to ban out. They're first going to ban out hyper carry from the side of Onyx side. They're not too sure where this Kupal and Kupal and Kupa are going to go into. Team SMG on the other side, I think it's a little bit easier for them because now they can just get rid. The Claude is missing, the carry is missing. Therefore, I mean, if they want to get rid of the Granger, it's totally understandable.
Exactly, and if they really want to remove, most of the viable marksmen, definitely something that they can look at. Lancelot, I feel like could have been something else though, like this sort of band. So, if it were you, like, do you feel Lancelot is the biggest threat here?
Well, I mean, it's not that Onyx haven't whipped it out before in their own regular season, and they even tried to pull it off in their playoffs as well. Didn't go so well. However, I think Team SMG is giving them a lot of respect, saying, "Hey, we know this is one of your off picks. We might as well get rid of it. Get rid of it to ensure that we don't have to, deal with a nasty assassin who really has some high mobility." On the other hand, Team SMG looking to get their offlaner here, and I think they still need one more support. If they could go either the support option or they could go for a mid mage, and yep, they do decide to actually go for their mid mage here, being the Kimi this time.
Well, that's going to be Choke coming in relatively late. With this sort of pickups coming from the side of Onyx Esports, I'm looking at a really big pickup potential here.
Yeah.
I mean, Way of the Dragon, you got the Tyrant's Rage, you got the Divine Judgment as well. So I'm not too sure how exactly are they going to run off of that, but I do think that more will fare way better in terms of like late game potential and team fights. So it's not too bad.
I mean, I can respect it to a certain extent here, but I guess Onyx have identified like, hey, maybe we have too many pickoffs. We need a little bit of damage, someone to actually finish off the targets, because that's kind of the issue with both Uranus as well as Popo and Koopa, where they can kind of like lifesteal off. If Koopa is still alive, that thing is gonna net you a lot of lifesteal that a lot of people don't really respect. It's like, oh yeah, Koopa, go do your thing. Oh, I'm spell vamping all of a sudden, even though I'm not auto attacking. What's going on? Oh yeah, it's that annoying alpha.
Oh, it definitely gonna be a little bit tricky, but here we go. This is gonna be game number 1. Team SMG versus Onyx Esports here. First match in the best of 3. We're hoping to actually see our very first 3 games in a row for today, and of course, finally, Team SMG has switched things up for a little bit, and we are definitely looking for something epic going on.
I doubt Onyx is just going to let it go to 3 games here, because every win is going to count. If they tarnish that record, another team might just take their spot. But let's have that beautiful cinematic view as the teams are rotating through the mid lane to control that river area. Blood will occur as Mali is taking quite a bit of damage here, trying to control, but he is sending out Kupal. Do your work. Woof woof.
Well, seems like we will be having the wolf going back and forth, playing fetch, but this brawl mode's going to take a little while before it concludes. But of course, the Wanderer has already been poked and pushed all around like a football, and here goes Sasa already dishing a lot of damage. This is going to be first blood going for Onyx. Is it going to be? Oh, he takes the buff. He can actually escape out of it.
Yeah, but now the red buff is completely wide open, and it looks like they're going to sacrifice it here. And notice how Onyx Esports is doing it. It's like, yes, this invade is probably going to happen, but we need Rossi to kind of like sit in front of our red buff jungle entrance, just to ensure that we don't, we have the information if Team SMG decides to go for a buff trade, which they do not go for.
And seems like the Kaja is going to be going for a relatively low health Bonesy over on the bottom side. So he's either going to be backing away or staying in lane for a little bit longer, which I do not recommend. And yep, we're going to be getting our first blood off camera, while Anti-Base is going to be the next one to fall.
Yes, this is what I've been expecting from Team SMG. This is some good moves. They are playing the map, and that's how it should have been much, much earlier, especially against Aura Fire as well. Quick rotations, quick pickups, and it looks like, Sonic was able to put in quite a bit of, Neo was able to put in quite a bit of work into the enemy. But quick reply coming in from Onyx Esports, CW and Rossi, the Wonder duo here, looking to get a pickoff. Big ultimates being used by CW here. No Death Sonata as they look to contest. Oh no, Rossi flicking right on top of Mali, hopefully to stop him from using any of his escape tools. And Rossi ain't done just yet. That bouncing ball may have denied, but that Tyrant is not letting these picks go wasted.
My goodness me, how great that was coming in from Rossi. Pinpoint accuracy, just lands that on top, but my.
Oh, that was too close. Sasa flickers right in front to hopefully get another pick onto Smooth. But Smooth was ready with that flame shot, getting that quick knockback, not allowing Sasa to get that Divine Judgment off.
And, of course, better map controls coming in from the side of Onyx Esports as they disperse across each respective lanes. Still going to be a 1-3-1 for sure, but with Mali still going in for those side lanes, this is what we're talking about. The strength of Popokupa, of course, is showing right there, but this is a little bit of a questionable play. What are you doing in here? It's Sonic.
Yeah, it looks like Isonic definitely, he was positioned in a place where, Onic was already very, very aware of. They didn't continue. Divine Judgment, the Purify came out, but not fast enough. Oh, that's going to be next onto the chopping block as Bonesy, looking for some information, ended up dying in response. They got to be so, so careful when they make any kind of play because, again, the pick potential coming up from Onic with just Rasi and Sasa alone is extremely devastating.
Yes, indeed. Looking at this current standpoint, of course, Team SMG back to the drawing board.
Whoa! Anti-Mage coming in from the backline to clean up everybody on his Phantom Steed. Drian just there to be just peppering them up, seasoning it for that platter that Anti-Mage has netted for himself. This is going to force them to lose an objective here. Good collapse coming in from Onic Esports, identifying, hey, your buff is coming back up, your top laner is missing, we can punish.
Well, punish they did, and over on the top side, it's going to be another free tower. Esmeralda definitely have to sit out this one, but for now, if there is Pupil and Koopa coming up along the way, they shouldn't have a problem to actually push the wave all the way back. But looking at the current sort of position that they're at, this is one more kill going in favor of Cyberpunk Esports.
Yeah, they're definitely disrespecting this Kaja here. It's like they haven't played against, they haven't played against the Kaja meta in a very, very long time. And even though Kaja isn't as strong as she used to be, she's still relevant. I mean, that one punch ultimate. Well, it's wrong for me to say one punch, but an all encountering ultimate like Divine Justice. Yeah, there's no escaping it.
Yeah, like you just get dragged all over the place like a ragdoll, and yeah, it feels like when you have Kaja, you can easily just toy around with your enemy side. So Neos is going to be having a little bit of fun. He's like, okay, I know I'm not going to be farming right here, so yeah, I know you're going to visit the lanes, so just might as well say hi. But here comes Molly coming from the back.
Can he land this? He needs to land this. Oh, all right. The first flicker comes through. All right, that's not too bad. 120 seconds Sasa has to wait for making a really, really impressive play with his flicker and Divine Justice, but Divine Judgment. But so far, Onic making sure they completely control the jungle of Team SMG. They get the kill onto Pupil and Kupal, who walks up a little too far. The disrespect.
Oh, I mean, he should have seen that one coming. I mean, the lanes were relatively quiet, so it should have been pretty much a big invasion going on. SMG now forced to actually hug their turrets. Necklace of Durance over the side of Drian, already 3 kills. Flicker coming out from the side of Dio as well. That's right. Closely landing, but it's not going to be enough. Molly blocks the shot.
Really nicely done. I mean, Anti-Mage was trying his best there to look for any opportunity, and same goes for CW with that, Death Sonata there, but I think they just have to be really, really careful. Like, Rasi is willing to disrespect the enemy to hopefully break them out of position and look to catch an isolated target off guard.
Seems to me that CW still remains as the best marksman of Group A. That's no denying of that. Well, it's still day number 1. Still many more matches to go. But as it stands, you just look at how much gold that he has actually rigged up for the side of Onic Esports. They are hitting 20k real soon, and it's not even anywhere near 8 minutes. So, Neo just trying to actually get a little bit more of that sort of EXP to perhaps challenge the likes of CW eventually. As Onic Esports, they are now crowding out towards the top side. Could have been a collision of both ends, and they are already trying to take out the wolf.
Yeah, I mean, Koopa has quite a bit of health here, and, in the Alpha Wolf form, it just gets a little bit better. But as of right now, just look at the way Onic is just controlling this middle side of the map. They're making sure that both sides of the jungle are unsafe to actually walk in, and they could easily rotate on to an isolated target. So, at this point, Team SMG just has to give up their turn 2, but Sasa with a big flicker again. What did I say about that play? They have to be aware of that flicker, and the next target, Valir, walks up too far as Rossi pulls it back in for a free kill.
Yeah, this looks really rough. Sasa almost being dropped upon.
Wait. Oh, man, that's super unfortunate.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. If you had Magic Worship, I think you would have been able to get it there.
Yeah, I mean, if only the Fireball the Flame Shot could actually land so far as well, then maybe.
The dream. Yeah, the dream.
1 HP and dream.
All right, but the rest of Onyx, like they understand that they are in full control over this game, and you can see that even though Rossi has no team members, it's already been instilled in Team SMG that it is dangerous to walk out, and they have to start positioning their traps a little bit more aggressively, especially when it comes to brushes, to give them that information that hey, it's not safe to go in there.
Definitely going to be pretty much a tall order for them to defend this one, but they will try nonetheless. Rossi's going in for the dive already, and he's taking a little bit too much flickers out safely. Antimate's going in for the stop, and as he's rampaging through the backlines, he will be able to actually escape, but their focus for the side of Onyx is only going to be the tower for now.
Oh, that's some good defense coming in from Team SMG there. I didn't really agree with the engage to push off the Granger, but so far, not bad. They were able to kite out all the other targets. They just have to make sure they don't get punished by this feathered airstrike. And now they're going to finally lose their inhibitor down on the mid side as CW's damage is just absolutely insane. He buys his endless battle, and now he is a complete monster.
And
1K. Oh.
I don't want to see what he can do to this turtle, and yep, he blows it off with that final critical shot.
Jeez.
2.1 again.
Yeah, no big deal. Like 2.1 numbers. Oh yeah, 2 items, no big deal.
Yeah, maybe one tap finish.
One tap finishes. I can't wait. And yes, they are positioning their Popals. Popals? I keep saying Popals. Popals little traps that actually slow people into the trap. Oh, Sasa once again gets a really good catch onto Mali, and Smooth is in a lot of trouble. He's taking so much damage from that Death Sonata here, but the rest of the team, especially Anti-Mage, gets pushed on backwards by Valir. Isonic able to divert attention to himself. Oh, but their side laners, Bonesy, just unable to do much here. Flame Shot comes out to kind of picker them down, chunk them to at least their half HP, but they don't have the damage to fully commit to this upcoming fight. And remember, big ultimates has been used, and they have been completely zoned off. The siege tactics coming in from Onyx Esports, really, really well done.
And of course, it's not over just yet. They're waiting for one more wave. Anti-Mage will try to actually land the finishing touches, but he does go down. It does not matter anymore. First game goes to Onyx Esports.
Ooh, a quick 10 minutes game, but I think Team SMG definitely learned a lot from their match against Aura, and I think they put up a decent fight considering how aggressive Onyx was. It's just that they weren't ready for the speed of which Onyx was looking for catches. They are constantly looking for it. They have the ultimate. They will abuse it.
Yeah, and looking at how they've been mapping so far, each one of these mappers were pretty much at their optimal form. From the start of the day, the first match, up towards this point itself, everyone's just sort of okay, I just want to make sure we go get in with those quick games and get over it because it's cold in here.
Yeah, we in, we out. It's cold, man. But honestly, like for these pro players, like based on what I've heard, the worst things possible for a pro player is cold hands.
Really?
Yeah. Like this is a thing. This is not just limited to Mobile Legends. This is across every game. You got cold hands, you're not going to perform as well. You know?
Oh yeah. Sometimes maybe like your finger taps. I don't know if it's too
a little
cold.
Stiff, you know?
Yeah, you just feel like you're not yourself. Like you gotta get those blood flowing, and sometimes they even get I've talked to a coach of a team before. They like to get those heat packs as well. Like
yeah. I was about to bring that up because like those, I've seen so many teams just walking around. It's like, what are you holding? It's like, what's that little bag in your hand?
We thought it was like some sort of green tea bag or something. You show to it, and it's like, yeah. Just kidding. Like, okay, back to how things are going to go.
Well, they had a shirt. We're going to teabag you. We are going to teabag you. Like, just be like flexing on the enemies, just like teabag. It's like walking by each other. It's like no handshake, just eye contact and check out my shirt.
Oh yeah, like well, those kind of jokes aside, of course, as Onyx looks to actually heat things up a little bit. So one more game will be able to actually seal the deal for them to be topping Group A. Is this something that you have expected, or you thought like, oh, maybe it would have been somebody else?
I mean, honestly, just looking at paper, we ourselves casted, the MPL Indonesian finals for the English broadcast, and honestly, they were looking like they were looking a little shaky there, and then they finally found their footing, netting themselves third place, and it's for a reason. They were playing during their lower brackets, and they were, even though they were behind, they were still pretty impressive. And I think the same thing can be said here, where they're not going to be behind for the most part, and on paper, yes, Onyx should come up on top, and this is exactly what we're seeing.
Yes, exactly. And of course, we're going to be looking at some of all these post-game stats once again to see, who does the most damage, and of course, kills. We're looking at I forgot. It's who else but CW.
Yeah, I think there's no argument there that CW was playing a really phenomenal game this time around, and despite the catches coming in from Sasa, the capitalization from the rest of the team is just on point. Like Jian does not miss with that feather airstrike, and that's kind of uncomfortable because he has chunked out so many members of Team SMG before the fight even begins. That puts them at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and we saw how Leo Mort also just runs in and out, just causing disruption, knowing that he can't actually get back some sort of live steal somewhere in between the way, and just easily walk out of it. So he just buys so much time for the rest of his teammates to actually go in with those finishing touches on the turrets and, of course, those kills.
Let's jump over to the highlights powered by Cellcom as we analyze what exactly went wrong in this particular game. And you can see it's not really that SMG was making too many mistakes overall. It's just that Onyx was very, very quick to capitalize, and they really know their limits. You can see the experience coming out of them, just oozing out of them, where it's like, I know exactly how far I need to catch somebody off. And each and every time, they caught SMG off of their rotation because they just, using the process of elimination, I can clearly see that Uranus is down on bottom side. Ball just met him down in the mid lane, and therefore the rest of the team needs Esmeralda, who's going to the buff, which we also know the timing of. So really great play coming in from Anti-Mage, making the call like, hey, they're going to go for the buff, we can punish.
Yeah, and I just got to highlight once again how well Rossi was playing the entirety of the match.
Oh, yeah.
And he just goes in to actually give his teammates so much advantage, because every single knock he gets is the same goes to Sasa, every single divine judgment is a kill. And that being said, that was the conclusion of game number 1, as of course eventually knocked the doors and secure pretty much a 17 kills by the end of the round.
Yeah, a very devastating game for Team SMG, but Onyx really, they just played such a strong game, so solid overall that Team SMG just couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this sort of a gameplays that's coming in from the side of Team SMG, if they lose this sort of battle against Onyx right here, could you say that you're already down and out?
Yeah, I definitely think, losing just both of your games 2-0-2-0, yeah, it would, because note that in Group A, you need to get out of there. But let's have a look at these end game stats as we talk a little bit more about it, because, again, can come out, so every victory is going to be important here. But let's look specifically at the highest GPN, 956. Not as high as it used to be, but you have to imagine the KDA he racked up throughout the entire game. It's like, I may be losing a little bit of gold, but I got them kills in my pocket.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to land those finishing blows. Like, okay, call it kill still, call it whatever you want. I call it 2.1k worth of damage. I don't care about the goal. I just want to show you how much damage I can put out.
Check out my stats number crunching right here. Just like adding the numbers, taking those heads. And real talk though, what do you think of the draft from both sides?
I honestly think it was a really good draft coming from the side of SMG. It's more on execution that seemed somewhat lackluster, because it was more than them getting caught out in the early phase. And
I suppose, yeah.
After that, it just grew into a storm. They actually pulled up a really interesting dive over the top side, which worked so well for the side of Mali.
I definitely agree. They really capitalized on that, and I was expecting to see more of that coming out of Team SMG, but the fact that they had the confidence to do that after quite a devastating defeat against Horrify really shows that they do have the tenacity to learn, and that's good. However, I think they need to push a little bit above and beyond if they want to if they want to beat the grain of the Indonesian standard right now, because that just seems to be immovable for the side of Group A. Both SMG clearly isn't capable of dealing with it. They are a very new team in their defense. I'm just expecting Todak to do a little better against Aura Fire. I don't know how much better, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing that
Yeah,
may happen. They also did go through a roster shift, so is it really severe when it comes down to that? Because as for Team SMG, of course, they changed most of their players, but not for the side of Teldak. But of course, get back to its the stats for a little bit as we look into its the sort of hero picks. Like we mentioned previously, this draft itself for SMG looks very solid on paper. It's just the early games, walking out in the open, going across the jungle without the sort of camps that you should be at.
Yes,
or
yes.
Even lanes. Yeah.
See,
that much.
my only issue with Team SMG was the Esmeralda thing. I think that was just a little bizarre, especially with what Team Onyx has brought to the table as well. Like, when they locked in that Esmeralda, they already had Kufra and Kaja in there. And I thought, that's kind of a bold move from Team SMG. I thought they had like a plan in mind, but ends up they were looking for just pure counter picks the entire time, and I think that really hurt them in their decision making. Like the ball and Koopa, alright, totally fine. Uranus, fine. Kimmy, very smart choice. The Valir, pretty good first lock in. However, the Esmeralda, I think that was just a weak link overall. She just struggled to get Granger keep anybody at bay, actually,
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not really all too much on the Esmeralda's fault. If I really want to look at numbers, like, Uranus is supposed to do way more than just 4,000.
For sure.
Like if you are actually playing on the Uranus, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. But understanding that he lost his lane level 2 over the bot side, and he overstayed. Like, I saw it with my own eyes before we pan out the camera and look at the top side kill. Yes, he lost out to Kaja, being unable to farm and unable to get anywhere close to the Kaja from that point onwards.
Yeah.
Then they should have swapped lanes from there. He should have went in towards the top side.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the player who played the it's not coming back to me. No, stop it.
Yeah, I mean,
Stop it, Aaron.
that was what they were playing.
No, well, true, but I know what you're trying to do. Esmeralda, I have an issue with the Esmeralda pick more than anything else, not the player. Match MVP, obviously, is going to be CW here. He was doing a really, really good job following up on a lot of the kills, making sure that the shots being called were very accurate with the information he was getting. And he it's frustrating to see information being fed to CW. He doesn't see them on the map, but he will death Sonata at the right time.
Yes, indeed. We saw so many of all these through the beautiful opening of the ultimate as they try to actually secure things like the turret. Well, I can't really say the same for Turtles because, for the record, Team SMG hasn't been challenging any of these Turtles in past 2 games.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
therefore, he just had pretty much a smooth cruise as well. And every single game, he hits an average of level 15. So, and mind you, it's all less than 10 minutes.
Ah, yes.
He hits level 15 before 10 minutes, so that's the big deal. It's not like, okay, yeah, I'm power farming, I'm doing this while I'm ignoring all his team fight. He's just farming kills, farming anything he sees.
Yeah, farming as much as he can, but just taking all the gold for himself. And this is how the meta is actually supposed to be played. It's not so much as funnily as it used to be, where it's just like every resource must be given to our marksman. Now it's kind of lightened up a little bit. The mid majors have become a little bit more important. The supports still as relevant as they ever were. Even more so now than ever.
And that's where a lot of all these teams really have to grab well enough. It's really not just about, okay, I'm just going to give you all the gold if you are playing the marksman, and hopefully, you chase up against the enemies, get 1 or 2 kills, and eventually snowball out of control. Like, we saw Toda try a similar pattern, almost actually hitting a success rate. So maybe that might just be brought up again for the late side.
True. That's a good possibility. All right. Now, I want to see how this is going to, evolve. What is Onyx going to do for the second draft now that they're going to be on the blue side and SMG on the red? Because the only reason that SMG even bothered to pick up Valir was the fact that they were on the first pick. I don't think they're going to get that again.
I don't think that there's any way that they would actually let this bypass. If that's the case, I think Onyx themselves will might occur, or else it will
Possibly,
be banned
yeah.
away by Team SMG.
I think so. I think Team SMG has slightly shifted in terms of priority of what heroes is good and what heroes is not anymore. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I would like to see like one of the Indonesian teams have access to Popol and Koopa, but it seems that most of the time they are just banning it out once they're on their side.
So far, I really haven't seen like a fully activated from Popol and Koopa,
Yep.
so that definitely will be very interesting. You know, last time we saw Popol and Koopa, of course, a couple of months back, where you know it was relatively new. Not many people know how to fully utilize the spout kit, and as patches changes, as all these scalings and every single stats have definitely adjusted. So this is where so many of all these Indonesian teams, they are actually paying huge respect of what this brand new box really has on the table.
Yeah, and I definitely think that they should be giving it the respect deserved because again, new heroes tend to have inflated numbers initially until they get a little bit nerfed. But at the end of the day, if it's good, it's good. So, and I'm kind of undecided. What about you? I'm kind of undecided on the position of Popol and Koopa. Like, are they first pick worthy? I'm kind of like on the fence of it.
I think if it's available, why not? Like, since they kind of know that this has been pretty much the most sought after pick, other than things like Kaja or things like Selena, which would still not really see too much of gameplay. This is where if you do have any sort of better options, you can always go for it. What I'm really happy about is that we're not really seeing things like Rock all too much. Where it was like a permanent Rock being stuck into its MPL since day one.
Agreed. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. So it's kind of nice to see that come. But Onyx Esports this time, as we were discussing, they banned out Popol and Koopa instantaneously, without even a second thought given.
And now Atlas is being banned away, as we saw quite a number of the Indonesian side actually play such a stellar game, especially if you go to Rassi. They knew what Toda had to actually face again, so they are just negating any sort of chance for Rassi to pop.
Ooh, looks like it's going to be the Claude as well. They're getting rid of all the safe picks now.
Wow.
The question is whether Team SMG is going to let Kaja through or not.
It's either Kaja or Selena right here. So
yeah, it's either or. I would say Selena is like a little bit more devastating because there is some form of counterplay when you're dealing with Kaja in comparison to Selena.
Yeah, they really have tough choices right here. So ever since they banned out the Atlas, this is something that they have to actually suffer the consequences. Or are they going to open up the ban? Seems like Selena's going to be the good call coming in from Getting Cute.
Yep, and it looks like Onyx Esports first picking. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, Grok is on the table, but they still have so many more better priority picks.
As for Onyx Esports, they are looking for something different to hatch out of this idea. So it's going to be perhaps a couple of these support frontliners that is being considered right here. Kufra has been the go-to option for Rassi. So, okay, that's relatively fair. Now, I'm not too sure about Zilong or Bane, but Savannah's not too bad.
I mean, if you really need something to lock somebody down for a team fight, I mean, sure. I don't think it's within first pick rotation. I definitely feel like, the Valier is going to fit a much better role here. Then you just have to worry about positioning more so than not. You might even want to consider picking up the Kaja for yourself as well. I personally think that should be the go-to, but it's up to personal preference,
And, last minute switch up. Yep, this is what we're talking about, a much better option for them, but this is too greedy, or this is just,
more like you don't really... I feel like you don't really have a choice, in this particular situation, because you have nothing to work off of Onyx Esports' lineup. Like, you just see, Rassi or Kufra, like, what else could they possibly be bringing into the table? But now Onyx Esports, sticking to the meta, they're going to be bringing in the Ling and Angela. That's going to be an extremely powerful combo here.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and I'm already putting my hands on my eyes. I'm like, I don't need to actually, imagine all too much on how this one's gonna go. I mean, this is a combo that is very, very much established. Yeah, we've seen Evo's Legends done it before. We've seen so many other guys actually
Yes.
utilize Angela into this, but this is where I like the Cho because it's very important to keep the Ling away.
Yeah, it's either the Cho or the Jawhead. Either or. Because somebody needs to just lock down Ling for a couple of seconds, maybe sacrifice their life while the rest of the team just books it. Because there's nothing much they can really do, and Valir is super susceptible to die to something as simple as a Ling just coming in from the back, you know? So he has to hold up that Searing Torrent for as long as possible, because the moment that comes out, you're going to be in a terrible position. Team SMG doesn't plan on using the Jawhead, but they're going to deny it from the Sonic Esports because, again, it's a very engage-heavy composition.
Yeah, I'm looking at the second base here. How exactly are they going to be finishing their final lineup right here? They still need high DPS. Yeah, Harith does seem pretty decent.
Oh, I mean, yep. Esmeralda fits here actually pretty well, especially with the amount of shield Angela is going to give. If Esmeralda gets out of control, she should be able to face tank Ling's damage.
Well, now that also meant that they would lose some priority in terms of marksman.
I think whatever the marksman is going to be,
Yeah.
it's not going to matter, right?
Yeah, I think they say, heck of it, like, we can go without marksman even, like, at this point. So, Kakura is relatively, something that's intriguing to me as well. Stranger definitely the, great option on the table, but, you know, Cecilion's, being covered, as they are still looking forward to bring Thomas because they need somebody to bring down those shields on Esmeralda anyways.
Yeah, totally agree here. I think Onyx Esports, they definitely have won the draft to a certain extent here. I'm not so sure whether or not they wanted to have like the Thamos to go into the side lane. I feel that's a bit redundant now that you have the Ling. I would have preferred them to actually go for the Granger to actually increase their pick potential to allow easy engages if somebody is isolated or if it hits multiple members that can get them caught out of position. Team SMG, on the other hand, going for the Roger, really smart pick because, he actually has enough mobility and ways to kind of just buy time for the rest of the team if he gets jumped on by CW.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Of course, Team SMG still fighting for their lifeline. If they do drop this game, their hope for this entirety of the tournament might just be diminished. While Onyx Esports, they are definitely in the running to become the champions if they can keep up with this consistent form. So, can either sides actually pick up this win? It's time for us to find out. Drop in your votes, drop in your hashtags, drop in your comments, and give them all your power that you have, because we're going in towards game 2.
Yep, let's go into this. I want to see that cinematic view just one more time.
Now it's time for us to get ourselves back in towards the land of Dawn.
There we go.
Yeah, you asked for a sick graphic. That's right. You see the minutes. You see the grass is growing out. Of course, thank you very much, production. Your absolute beauty in the MPL Invitation for Nations Cup. Well, put on those glasses and, of course, those dancing shoes because we're going to get this party started.
Yeah, I mean, we may not have a live location, but production's really killing it. Oh, Rossi, he knows that he's in trouble. He quickly flickers out. SMG must take note of this because he's not going to be able to flicker out of these situations again for the next 2 minutes.
Whoa, what's going on the bottom side?
I mean, Smooth, he's in a lot of trouble here. He quickly buys as much time as possible, and this is what I'm talking about, because Smooth is able to transform into his werewolf form and quickly do a bit of an alpha strike there to buy some time going invulnerable in that time being. So that's what they were trying to expect, but he does get caught out, and that's not exactly too great for him in the long run, but let's see how far Team SMG can go in this particular matchup.
Seems like the top side is suffering a little bit of that poke coming through from the side of Sasa. And mind you, this is just the damage output coming from Angela. And they're going for the chase, and last hit.
He should have just recalled and get Valir to come and clean up that lane. They have to communicate with each other a lot more because Onyx, they are noticing these bad habits and they are punishing it very, very effectively.
Of course, Onyx Esports seems like they're extremely comfortable with whatever they're pulling out back. And yep, top side, yet again, another pickup coming in for the side of Bonesy as they absolutely isolated the top side as an island.
Yep, and that's the thing. Like even though Kaja is really good at clearing waves by herself naturally with her first ability and her passive, just to clear it as quick as possible. When you are punished like that and left with no support, you can already see Bonesy is going to lane, but he's being very, very careful to try and get to that tier 3 in case he gets spotted and caught out once again. He is giving up a wave, and now Onyx, because of that delayed push, are going to set up for another potential dive.
And of course, we are looking at the lane, still monitoring the top side. I'm not too sure. Until Bonesy can hit level 4, then he will be well secured, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Isonic finally hits level 3 as well, being the lowest lowest level member right there. And Bonesy don't even have time to, do much because he doesn't have flicker.
Yeah, and one lane needed to be sacrificed, and it was good. And it looks like Team SMG have said, okay, it's going to be top side. We need to stop Anti-Mage right here, right now. He quickly pops up, because Anti-Mage doesn't actually have his ultimate at this point in time, so he quickly goes down. Sasa tries to protect him with the global ultimate there, but they are managing to get on that Isonic. He misses the flame shot. That's going to net him a free death there for the side of Onyx as they are going for the dive onto Smooth. They've dedicated too many resources, and they forget how quickly CW can just transverse across
from
the map.
Top side all the way to down below, and that was really, really swift. And not only that, I love the commitment coming in from Onyx Esports. Like, they knew that they're already dove upon, they've already used every single possible spell that they can get out of that. So that was a perfect chance for them to actually break in a couple more kills. Now we're looking at 7 kills in the span of less than 4 minutes.
Less than 4 minutes, That's already a big sign. And in terms of EXP, you can definitely see that the main characters, the main carries are coming up online while the rest of them are slowly falling behind. Like, you expect Smooth to be much further into this game, but looking at CW, he's already got 3 kills under his belt, 3K in the bag. He's literally 1K higher than everybody else into this game. Malin gets an initial catch onto Rassi here, but that means he's going to die with Sasa making sure that his links ensnare him in place as they go in. Rassi once again, he doesn't care. He's going to pick up another one. CW with the help of Angela gets locked down by Razzie there. By Bonesy there. Really, really good play because that could have been devastating.
We're just looking at CW stopping everybody because he knows that Sasa will protect him no matter what. But Sasa's getting dove upon. He needs a little backup. And oh my, that burst coming from the wing. It's going to be raking up one more kill for Son of Drian as well.
Oh boy,
things are looking bleak, bro.
Yeah, it's looking really bad. And Bonesy, he is just so far behind. His lane was sacrificed by the rest of his team, and it's starting to bite the team in the butt. Neo, being the only hope for the team to hard carry this game, needs more items. Finally, Smooth, he's just struggling in general. The mid lane is constantly being pushed in, and he can't walk up too far in case he gets caught out by Rassi.
Yeah, the moment that Onyx Esports opened up so many options on the table, I guess in Malaysia you don't really see too many Ling players, so they actually opt to pick that up, and look at how scary this Ling is.
Yeah, this is a devastating game because Onyx Esports, again, in full control. There's nothing much that Team SMG can really do except play for picks here. And I think they should have been doing that much, much earlier into the game rather than finding the full force. But Onyx Esports is just making it so hard for Team SMG to find an opening even to get in as Team SMG forced to play defensive.
Of course, we're just waiting to see how can Team SMG hold up against Sasa as well as Drian right here. They know that the buff's going to be coming up online. It's either they risk their life attempting for this buff, or just give over to the side of Onyx.
Yep, and Onyx now just invading the buffs. We saw this in Game 1. They're going to take control of your buffs, they're going to take control of your jungle next, they're going to take away your objectives, and eventually you're just going to suffocate. 7k gold lead, 6 minutes into the game. This is way too big of a lead so soon into this game.
And here comes the monster kill! Coming in for the side of CW. Even made me choked for a little bit. I'm not too sure how SMG's going to be doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what Neo was supposed to be doing that far out away from the base, but unfortunately, this is going to put them at a significant disadvantage as the rest of the team rotating down into the back line, as once again, Drian as well as CW just popping off in the backline. They don't even die. Rossi gets kicked with the Way of the Dragon, but it's not going to be enough to secure them the kill here as they flicker over the wall to find the catches. Rossi just does not care. He fears no death.
He definitely does not fear any evil at all, but they did get one kickoff in the form of Antimage. So right now, as it stands, of course, the trade seems to be, definitely favoring on the side of Onyx Esports. But hey, scenarios for the side of Team SFG, just to try to defend for a little bit. So Turtle, no issues for CW as well. Sasa, that Tempest combo alongside with Sasa's ultimate, that they have no answer to. Like, it's just really, really bad.
It's tough. I mean, they're supposed to have the options to actually deal with it. They have so many ultimates. However, when push comes to shove, they're just unable to react fast enough to how quick Ling goes into her ultimate. And the moment he's in the ultimate, there's nothing you can do. You just have to either wait out the damage, walk away, or reposition yourself. It's just the fact that Onyx Esports, the moment that does happen, Rossi is there to just jump on them to save his life. He's willing to switch places with CW in a lot of situations.
Yeah, like that sort of bait and switch was really good so far. Like, if any of their teammates are in trouble, they will actually do just that. Okay.
Yeah, this is
not funny anymore.
This is not funny. This is a bloodbath. Like, Onyx is destroying Team SMG. Nobody can be left out of place because they will take full advantage. And yep, Sonic is going to get one shot. That backline, there's nothing they can do as they walk into this bottom inhibitor uncontested, and there's nothing Team SMG can do about it. Yep, Bonesy's going to get one shot here, and boom, dead. Next on the chopping block, oh, Neo, you want some of this? The rest of the team jumps right on top of him with the Tyrant himself, locking him down for 0.5 of a second, and that is going to net him another free kill. CW unfazed by the dangers ahead of him.
Now, we are just delaying the inevitable right now.
Oh
As Onyx Esports, they're still looking for more. One more kill going over the side of CW. Make that 11 in the back. This might just be a total of 13. By the end of it all, he's going for a triple. And is this going to be it? Bonesy's still going to be left alive. And it's 2 games in a row. Onyx Esports dominates.
Oh, that was a devastating game. It's going to be a happy day for the Indonesian standard as it stands strong and still stands above the rest in Group A. But a very, very sad day for the Malaysian representatives within this group.
Yeah, unfortunately, SMG possibly being crushed by the end of it all. And of course, with their dire efforts, they did actually have some mental attempts here.
Oh, for sure.
Some against Aura. So they could possibly face off against one more team. This could be Kodak, but it's not going to be. They could possibly be one. So, that being said, you've already got 2-0 twice.
Yeah,
So-
it's definitely devastating to lose in that kind of fashion, but Onyx has so much of a lead that you really can't do anything. You can't do too much here. And I think what Team SMG has to do is there's this moment just before it reaches the tipping point where it's like, if it reaches critical mass, we don't win. But there's a moment before that where they have to take that 50-50. Many, many times Team SMG has refused to take that 50-50, and it's a dire situation, yes, but you can't staunch the bleeding unless you trade equally 1 for 1. Like, if they lose 4 members, you lose 4 members, you still technically win that bout because of how far Onyx was ahead.
Yeah, and Onyx definitely have too many tricks in the bag. Like, if they don't really get certain strong picks that we did see early on, they substituted with another plan, which, CW, doesn't mean that he always plays only marksman, and yeah, when you give him such a role in assassination, he would just pull the trigger, and he knows that he's got the team backing him up.
Yeah, and that's just an unfortunate situation. But congratulations to Onyx Esports. They have just completely dominated this group so far. The only people they haven't gotten a bite of yet is Aura, so I can't wait to see how that's going to happen some other time. Aura Fire as well. I would like to see them fight against Aura in particular. Like, that would be a really interesting matchup. Like, let's be real. That seems like it's a bit 50-50, you know?
Yeah, like, it's definitely 50-50 as we really look towards all these sort of situations that they were put against. Sometimes, like, when we talk about, like, how Onyx Esports, like, they when we talk about the Indonesian region in general, they are really well versed on how to actually utilize even uh, meta picks that used to be working beforehand. They can actually use that and tweak that a little bit here and there. Like back in the days, the Brock as well as Angela was some insane combo. But
Yeah.
let's bring back up a little bit of stats. But when you have new heroes like Link, someone that can just move across the map so easily, when you couple with Global Ultimate, he goes unstoppable for sure.
Yeah, basically, and Sasa was just right next to anybody who needed help. It wasn't just dedicated to just CW, but he has also definitely made an impact in that bottom lane where Anti-Mage was kind of struggling against Neo for the large part of 4 levels. But after that, like the level 6, level 7, when Sasa decided to get involved a little bit, that's when he started hard winning the lane. And once he was able to sustain the lane by himself, Sasa didn't have to worry about Anti-Mage whatsoever.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the side of Team SMG. Smooth definitely have great ideas across this game, but he's unable to just, get himself into the position where, he gets those advantages. Of course, this is the highlights brought to you by Yudu. You see heavy punishments over top side.
Yeah, very, very heavy punishment here, and I think this is when they realize like this is such a bad habit from this. They just leave their side laner. They leave their side laner alone. They're very slow on the rotation from mid side, so we can punish this. And they did. They cleared up the mid side. They disappeared, and then Bonesy, already having 3 deaths at that point in time, knew that the rest of the team just needed to look for the picks on the opposite side of the map. However, I think those picks should have started the moment Bonesy was getting dove under turret.
Yeah, and this was that sort of engagement that SMG Hot Club, we were almost successful in our attempt. And when they go back, they got on, and then Onyx just unleashing everything they got over inside here. Like, look at Rossi. He's a daredevil.
Yeah, Rossi had no fear of death this game. Once he builds up that confidence and he knows that what it takes to kill him, that's when you see him just kind of pop off. And he's been making some super impressive plays. Like this one here, right here. He gets kicked all the time. He gets put in a bunch of damage. He flickers over the wall, already buffering in his ultimate, and he knows that they're within range and catches them off. That was such a good play.
Yeah, I want to see that again if I can. And at this point, they're like, okay, let's get CW all the kills that we can. Hopefully he gets the total MVP. Hey, by the way, I think that MVP was walking away with a little bit of cash in hand.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to be complimentary to the teams that have the most valuable players. So everybody is doing their best. But right now, Onyx looking really, really strong in A.
Of course, with that being said, we have concluded this sum of SMG versus Onyx. Game 1 where he went by, and of course, Game 2 looking pretty much a little bit better for the side of SMG.
I don't know. Game 2 seemed like... Game 2, I'm not even sure if it's their own at this point more than Onyx was feeling themselves. They were really feeling themselves. They're like, yo, we're pretty good in this game,
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to show you what we usually do to random pubs inside of the ranked games itself.
Yeah.
So that has happened. We've already seen pretty much Team SMG suffering quite a lot of hits. Sorry.
Quite a bit of hits.
There's going to be a lot more of that coming in the way for some of all the other teams that might just actually meet up with Onyx Esports. But here are the stats of the post matchup, where of course we look at the bans. Was it justifiable? I just realized they banned off of Bellman.
No, that can't be right?
I'm
confident it wasn't Balmont. I think that's a place. I think that might be just a little bit of a placeholder for now. But overall, I do think that the draft was definitely Onyx favored because they kind of fell into this trap. Like, you can definitely see that Team SMG was not prepared to deal with CW going onto Ling and getting paired up with Angela. I think they were prepared for a Ling, just not the pairing of this sort. Because you can tell by Onyx that this is a very well-crafted, this is an extremely well-crafted draft. I mean, the Kagura and the Thamos, could give or take, you could have switched them out for either or. You could even throw a Zaskin for all I care. But yeah, they wanted something that was hard to catch and very, very hard hitting, and that's exactly what they achieved.
Yeah, like look at the sort of mobility that they have all upon. Like maybe you can argue that maybe Angela is the most mobile of all of them, but that gives so much room for Rossi. It's like, okay, go ahead, target my Angela. You know there's gonna be some bowling ball just hitting right at your face, but if you ever go ahead and touch the support, so you know now that we've already seen and witnessed a very different approach coming from the side of Onyx Esports as compared to how they actually dealt with Toda in the very first matchup of today. So, do you feel like the first form was actually scarier than the former?
I don't know. I just think it came down to preparation. I think Onyx was just extremely prepared for both Toda as well as SMG, even though they did have two different approaches. I definitely think that Onyx was giving a lot of respect to Toda in that game. They could have definitely pushed it further. But Team SMG, the moment they realized okay, they're making these weird bad habits that we can take advantage of. Game 2 is when they really set stone. Okay, we definitely are better than these guys, but let's punish every mistake that they do, because they noticed a lot of behaviors that kept repeating throughout both Game 1 and Game 2.
And they definitely spot out a little bit of that sort of rotational flaw, which honestly, they should actually go back, look at the bots again, and of course improve some of these movements. And I do hope to actually see them doing way better back in the MPL.
But it's time to show and reveal our match MVP, of course! The man himself, CW, and his hero used is Ling. Most play heroes is Granger and Ling because that's basically all he had access to for a large number of games. Every single time CW is just alright, can I get a regular hyper carry game? No, you're gonna ban out carry? Okay, you're gonna ban out Claude. Alright! Looks like I'm just left with Ling or Granger.
Yeah, I do wonder what else does this guy not play? We've seen the MPL Indonesia side as well. He definitely is very talented, but I still remember the time that he was on Claude. He really tore down anything that he sees.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really shown his trump cards yet. That's just one of the things that we saw back in the playoffs. So now he's just having fun in the group stage.
Yeah. And he's killing it. He really is killing it. He's definitely found his own footing with the help of Rossi as well. Both of them, really great additions to the side of Onyx, to Onyx Esports' side. And I can't wait to see what they actually have to say about this particular matchup here.
And of course, we're going to be talking a little bit more on, what exactly to expect. Because, okay, so this is all that we do have on Group A. But of course, if you guys are tuning in, we still have all of you guys out there. Of course, with that being said, we really want to talk to Onyx Esports on how they managed to, of course, secure such a convincing win. So let's throw it over to our interviews right now.
Hello Rasi, lagi sekali saya nak ucapkan tahniah kepada kemenangan tadi. Very clean, very nice. Apakah perasaan anda lawan dengan dua tim Malaysia dan boleh dikatakan dua-dua game clean sweep?
Biasa aja.
Biasa je.
Normal.
Saya suka awak punya jawapan tu sebab macam saya tak nak cakap bagus, nanti kena marah. Saya tak nak cakap benda lain pun nanti kena marah. Jadi kita tengah-tengah. So dekat sini saya akan tanya. Patch baru keluar. Patch baru keluar, jadi mungkin ada beberapa tim yang tak sedia lagi dengan patch ni. Jadi adakah anda rasa yang tim Malaysia, diorang punya adaptasi terhadap meta baru ni mungkin sedikit perlahan dan mungkin sebab tu nampak diorang kurang perform?
Maybe SMG or Toda.
So ini question saya yang kedua. Disebabkan patch ni baru keluar, macam mana tim Onyx prepare untuk setiap kali patch baru ni keluar? Adakah dia lebih kepada player yang akan bagi informasi dekat coaching staff, ataupun coaching staff yang akan tengok patch tu terlebih dahulu kemudian cakap korang cuba ni, kemudian kita tengok result macam mana?
Kita cari sama-sama.
Jadi
player main rank, coach nonton replay gitu. Jadi ya sama-sama.
Ini dekat Onyx punya gaming house, berapa ramai orang yang dalam coaching punya staff? Adakah dia cuma seorang coach ataupun ada analis sekali? Seorang saja. Okey. Dan ini adalah soalan ketiga. Ini mungkin adalah soalan terakhir untuk hari ini. Ini saya nak tanya. Kita Four Nation Cup, kita ada 4 negara, ada Malaysia, ada Indonesia, ada Myanmar dengan ada Singapura. Rasanya tim mana yang mungkin akan bawa meta yang paling tak disangkakan?
Maybe Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia Geek Farm.
Okay. Oh, Malaysia Geek Fam. So, Malaysia Geek Fam mungkin bawa strategi yang kita tak pernah nampak. Singapore dan mungkin ada Indonesia team. Myanmar, adakah anda pernah tengok Myanmar punya team, punya permainan?
Tak pernah tengok dia main.
Okay, jadi ini saya rasa dekat MPLI ni Myanmar mungkin boleh jadi dark horse di mana mungkin diorang ada meta yang semua orang tak pernah nampak. Jadi mungkin diorang akan mendominasi. Jadi ini boleh dikatakan kata-kata terakhir. Adakah Rasi nak kata apa-apa kepada peminat Onyx di Malaysia, Singapura, Indonesia dan mungkin juga Myanmar?
Thank you for supporting us. Just support us.
Saya suka yang anda cakap, okay, aku nak simple sebab aku nak makan, manager dah bawa makan, aku dah lapar, aku akan happy makan tu. Terima kasih banyak Rasi kerana melayan interview. Terima kasih dan semoga berjaya untuk lepas grup A. Sekarang kita akan pergi balik kepada caster-caster kita.
And thank you very much, LFL, for the interview alongside Rassi. Phenomenal support player right there.
Yeah, great support player.
Yeah, and we saw, of course, he was very honest with his takes on, okay, who exactly will be bringing in interesting matters to the table. And the first word that came out of his mouth, the nation that is a little bit more predictable being Singapore. Because, you know, they do have very, very high-skilled players like, you know, from Resurgence as well as from Evo Singapore. These are two names that has been in the scene for quite some time in the MPL MYSG scene, which they have found successes somewhere abroad as well. In those, not exactly successes. I take my words back, but you know they have yet to actually make a mark. But of course, if they have been keeping their eyeballs close towards the MYSG region, that's the reason why they also pointed out Geek Fam Malaysia.
Yeah, and that's actually what I kind of want to go around to, you know. We're gonna show the standings in a little bit, but yeah, they did mention Geek Fam Malaysia. They did mention, you know, Singapore. I do feel that Singapore doesn't have like that much of a weird like meta or surprise picks, but I definitely agree with Geek Fam Malaysia. Let's have a look at the current standings. Onyx Esports sitting on top with 4 wins, 2 match plays, 2 match wins with 2 points. Glorifier right behind them with 2 game wins, 1 match played, 1 match win, 1 point. Tora as well as Team SMG both still haven't been able to get their points up, but there's still plenty of time for them to try their very best as they go through the rest. But it's really looking good for Onyx Esports.
Yes, indeed. Tomorrow we're going to be having even more matches to come. So this is just Group A standings, and of course, a fun fact for you guys who are thinking, hey, what other groups are there? There's about 3 groups. I mean, including Group A, so that's a little 3. So, of course, Group B as well as Group C will be playing out. So, later on, we're going to be going throughout the rest of all these teams that will be playing for tomorrow and schedules and everything else. But, of course, today has been a phenomenal day for Indonesia as they will be, of course, celebrating some of the wins. But they're still for sure. So.
Yeah, we haven't even seen like the big dogs come out just yet. Like the invited teams, they're not touching group stages. They're already sitting in playoffs. Like, all right, let's just gonna flex.
Just gonna be stretching out for now. Like, this is not them actually showing off their muscles just yet. So so many of all the other teams, like even from the MYSG side,
that's true.
We've been actually having a lot of discussion on how exactly are the Myanmar region faring when they do actually join right in. So
yeah, that's what makes them so scary because there's not a lot of information to kind of go off of. Because like for a lot of these teams, you can watch their regular season to see how they play, see if they have any bad habits, so on and so forth. But Myanmar, on the other hand, it's currently happening as we speak, their MPL is happening right about now, and they are just trying to figure out their best strategies, come up with the best teams to beat everybody else in their region before they come on and hop over to the MPL Invitationals. And I don't know, like LaFell said, they could be a dark horse coming into this whole tournament, and they could really shake things up, or they couldn't. That's the mystery that we gotta solve eventually.
And of course, eventually, if you guys are tuned right in, you guys will find even more to come. So, with that being said, of course, we do really want to check out the entirety of what went down for today. If you guys missed out some of all these matches, and of course, a huge shout out to all of you guys who have been staying all the way from the start, all the way to the finish. And now we do really want to reward you guys a little bit of something that you guys might actually love. Right down.
Boom! Gift code! Didn't see that coming, did ya? Surprise! Gotcha, nerds! Well, don't worry, everybody in chat, you definitely deserve it if you've been sitting from the beginning till the very end. Thank you very much for actually watching the MPL Invitational 4 Nation Cup. We absolutely love casting it. Our production, I can't say exactly the same, but they are really working hard to make this happen. But on top of that, thank you to you guys. Quickly type that down because I swear to God, I bet there's somebody who has developed some kind of application to look at the screen, see a code, and instantly put it in the URL. Like, I bet somebody has coded that at this point in time.
Or maybe they're like on a PC on the keyboard, like all the websites are already up. They got like 5 monitors. Like, okay, guys, it's up, and you just got your fingers positioned at like the alphabet as well. And I'm just like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh,
I'm just imagining an illegal Asian sweatshop, just like, okay, guys, they've got 10 people lined up in a row, just typing in the code. Like the guy will state it out there, just going at it all day long.
Yeah, like in all those movies, right? Like, okay, Intel's coming in. All right, lucky right here. But more Intel to come. Tomorrow's matches is going to be happening, and it's going to be huge. We're starting off with Evos versus Geek Fam, and follow on by Evos versus Bosker. I'm not too sure. Is this Evos Legends? Is this Evos Singapore?
Please calm down. It's Evos Singapore. Don't worry about it. Evos Legends, they already made it into the playoffs. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're an Evos SG fan or Geek Fam Indonesian fan, stick around for tomorrow's match at 2 p.m. GMT +8. Best of 3, because that's going to be one heck of a match. Followed up by Evos versus Bosker. Team Bosker. Hey, that seems pretty interesting. Alter Ego versus Envy. Let's see if that Indonesian standard,
Yeah, so tomorrow it's about 3 nations meeting each other online, and things are definitely going to be very, very much spicy, just like our food across Southeast Asia. So make sure to be tuning in, same time, same place. We're starting from 2 p.m. GMT +8, so make sure you guys are in here. If you're not here for the games, at least stay for the codes.
Yeah, stay for the I don't think that's like the greatest thing to promote, but it's an added bonus to the loyal fans that I know you're out there. I see you. I've actually received a DM on Instagram where a guy actually
claimed this code. Is that the question?
No. He asked me, could I get an emote?
Oh, wow.
And I asked about it, and I was like, dude, if I give you an emote, I have to give everybody else asking for an emote, which I had a bunch of. And he's just like, I'm having a bad day, and I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna bargain with me. Whoa!
You can actually just treat him an emo. It's free.
I mean, sure.
It's still an emo.
I mean, sure, but do I want to give it to like 100 other 20 people asking for it as well? I'm
Yeah.
bringing up this story to make a point. Don't ask me for emotes. I'm not going to give it to you unless I'm giving it to everybody.
Yeah, of course. Our job is to cast, and of course, we have the pleasure of casting the entirety of the tournament so far. This is just day 1, so of course, there's still many more for the group stages and for the playoffs itself. And of course, we also want to give a huge shout out to UNU as they are our main sponsor, as the official digital telco partners, and of course, the entirety of the MPL Invitational 4 Nations Cup is presented by Bruin Tut. So, of course, so far, 3 matches have been absolutely a blast. And
which was your favorite one, though?
My favorite one, I do like the game where that did play out, and so far, I'm liking their new synergy with the brand new players, but it seems like there's still a lot more things to be drawn on their board.
Yeah.
In that sort of sense. So, tomorrow we're going to be seeing even more action to come. Where I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow.
Really, which one?
Geek Fan ID.
Oh yeah, what they always put like the most hype matches that I'm interested in seeing either first or third.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Like I really want to see Alter Ego play again. Like it's gonna be absolutely insane. But once again, we just want to thank everybody for watching this show. We can't do it without you guys, and you guys make it all so worth it to actually bother casting up here and making our production work so hard to make all of this possible. Look at that background! Come on, don't tell me that wasn't sick. Look at those cinematics when we get into game. Those are pretty sick too.
Sounds.
And that's true. That's true. The sounds have come a very long way.
Well, of course, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Contra. Alongside me is Gideon. So, would you like to do the honors to wrap up?
All right, we're gonna end this particular show. Hopefully, you guys stick around tomorrow for some more MPL action. This is the MPL Invitationals 4 Nations Cup. We're gonna be signing off. Good night.
Mo kinahanglan nito mo inom it kuman tong aing ano ni Aljen.